I usually have this really tight when I got it tonight. It was like really loosened, so not to. So I just reached out to like try and tighten it, and it just popped out.
Honestly, just take any shot there. Just try and get stuff back to the
the best I can, but it's not very steady when it's fully zoomed in super far.
Good evening and welcome to the broadcast here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel as we are finally back. I'm Joel McCall, alongside me is Nami George as we have the Central Riverhawks taking on the Holmen Vikings in boys action. This is a Mississippi Valley Conference game for the first time of 2023. I can't believe that we've turned the calendar for one, and I also can't believe that we're finally seeing the boys again after 31 days. That's how long it's been since the Central Riverhawk boys have been in this gym, Nami.
Boy, that's just crazy. Feels good to be back. I've been excited to watch the boys again, and it's been 31 days. It feels like it's been even longer. We have not got to see these guys very much, so it should be an exciting game tonight.
Riverhawks come in with a 5-2 record. They're 1-0 in the conference, and on the other side, the Holmen Vikings 4-2. They're 1-1 in the Mississippi Valley. Well, we better start with the Riverhawks. Normally I do start with the away team, but we're going to start with the Riverhawks tonight. Central boys back home for the first time in a month. During that span, the Riverhawks went 3-2, including a trip to Madison to play Juliet West and Waunakee. Central lost to Juliet. Again, those two games took place in Madison, as I said. Juliet, 4 Division I players on that team. Coach Ferget said the team played good and was proud of their effort. The Riverhawks started stronger against Waunakee, kept their composure when Waunakee went on a run. Good win over a quality opponent.
Yeah, that tournament down there always features really good teams. Yep, the 608 tournament always features really good teams. So, I mean, if you can go down there and split, that's good. And as Coach Ferget said, you know, that first game played a really, really good team.
Right.
And
I think they're only down 4 at half.
Yeah, they had a lead early in the first half, and only down 4 at the half, and had opportunities. And, you know, if you're Coach Ferget, that's all you can ask for.
Right. And then the other loss was to West Salem, who, you know, is like number 1 in their rankings. I think it's 1 or 2, I believe, in their rankings. And that was a fun game to watch. You were there, Nami, so you could kind of speak with it, too. Coach Ferget said Central started off doing an excellent job executing on both ends. As the game progressed, West Salem took advantage when the Riverhawks got away from what worked. West Salem, one of the best teams in the state, is what he called them. Yeah,
and they showed it. They were very good. Central, as Coach Ferguson said, started out the game on fire, and we're doing everything right, and then things kind of got away from them. They got hurt a little inside. I'm anxious to see tonight if we have a little bit more of a post presence, because I thought West Salem's big guys really hurt us. But, you know, I saw an interview with Coach Wagner from West Salem after the game, and he said that's a game that if we played 100 times, we win 50 times and we lose 50 times. That's really how close that game was. The other thing that happened in that game is Central got down, I think, by 8 or 10 late in the game and cut it all the way down to 4 with like a minute and a half left with possession of the ball.
That's when I got to watch. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing, but I was able to watch the end of the second half.
Yeah, so they had really had a chance to come back against one of the top teams in the state and pull off a huge upset. So, you know, I know Coach Ferget isn't happy with the loss, but when you look at the resiliency and the grit that the team showed, I think he's probably happy with that.
Agreed. And then Henry Meyer had a very good month away from Sutton Gym. See, I got it right now.
There you go.
The junior was named all-tournament team at the 608 tourney in Madison, and his offensive production is one thing I'll keep an eye on for tonight. Meyer will also be important on boards and staying out of foul trouble. You just mentioned it. Tingblad's over here. They got 2 of them for Holmen. They're very, very good, tall, and they are going to provide inside and outside presence for Holmen. And so it's something that Central's going to have to match, whether it's just positioning for rebounding. I think that's going to be the key. And Meyer has to stay out of foul trouble, too, on the dribble drive penetration.
Yeah, Henry had a great couple games there over break, and really fun to see him kind of grow up and take a leadership role on this team. We know we got Nick Williams, and we know we got Bennett Freed, but we need somebody else to step up, and I'm hoping Henry can be that guy.
The experience on the back court, though, for Central should play a big dividend tonight because, as we're going to talk about here in a second, Holmen does not have one of their key players from a year ago. Boston Brindley, I did want to talk about him. Defensive prowess will be on full display tonight because Holmen has 2 sophomore guards starting. Brindley is such a good defender, has expanded his game, and starting to find his O is what Coach Ferget said. I wonder if Brindley will be able to get the Vikings backcourt rattled and get some easy turnovers, which can lead to points.
I'll answer that question for you. Yes, he will. I've watched Boston long enough to know the way he plays defense, he rattles anybody. So
that's kind of my question of the night for the Riverhawks is can their experienced front court rattle the other team? Now the Vikings and Holmen, 4-2, as I said, 1-1. This third year for Ryan Meyer. The Vikings are riding a 3-game winning streak entering 2023. They haven't played since December 16th. It's a long time ago. Holmen was scheduled to play River Falls late in December. The weather took that one away to a later date. Coach Meyer said his team was able to take a few weeks and focus on the things to improve and are ready to get back on the court. The last 3 wins for Holmen were over Wisconsin Rapids, Eau Claire North, and Toma, and that's opposite chronologically. So Wisconsin Rapids was last, and then the Vikings and Toma actually went double overtime. Reed Tingblad hit a few nice post moves in the final minute of the second overtime to win. If you dive deeper into the Holmen schedule, you'll see this squad was in every game and could easily be undefeated. And that's what I want to talk about first, is because they're 4-2. We talked about their point differential. Now, I mean, off the air, it's a 1.8. That's a plus for them, but it's awfully close. They, against, I don't even know how to say that one.
I can help you.
Cudahy. They were down 2. They played that at Wisconsin Dells, lost by 11. And Aquinas, they were only down 2, 32-34 at halftime, and lost that game by 9. So their 2 losses, very close, only down by 2 at halftime. This could easily be a Holmen squad that comes in here with a big fat onion in their loss column tonight.
Yeah, and on the other side, what I was going to say is Ryan. I know Ryan personally, Coach Meyer. He always has his team prepared. He's a very good coach. I've known him since he was in high school. He was actually a student in my class when I was student teaching. That's how old I am. And he always has his team prepared, and they've been building. We've been watching them for a couple years now. They've been building, and they're going to give us a challenge tonight. There's no doubt about that. This is going to be a really good game, Joel.
I agree. I think it's going to be 2 great teams. I wish that Jace Leeser was playing. He tore his ACL. He's one of their starting guards, but it was prior to the season that he actually tore his ACL. So Holmen, a younger squad now, still learning how to finish and win games. 2 players, obviously, the Vikings can rely on is Drew and Reed Tingblad. I mean, those guys fill it up. They're averaging 18 and 14 respectively. They rebound very well and provide a nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah, and with a young squad like that, maybe not playing since December 16th helps you out. It gives you a chance to get things organized and things figured out. And I know there might be some rust or whatever coming back and playing game speed. That's different than practice.
Right.
But at the same time, having a couple weeks to iron some things out, I'm sure helped Coach Meyer.
Well, then their backcourt for Holmen, running with that underclassman as it is, it's Caden Wilbur and then Keenan Iserman. The sophomore guards will have to handle the Riverhawks pressure, as we talked about earlier. Coach Meyer said Wilbur has great athleticism. Iserman is a very cerebral guard and rarely gets rattled. So we'll see.
Well, there you go.
Coach Ferget was quoted to say that Holmen is very well coached, play hard, and the Tingblad size causes some difficulty. My question of the night for Holmen is, will there be any early rust? Because they can't have a slow start tonight, as Holmen might have been practicing for a week. But the game atmosphere much different, obviously, in this gym, too, because it's going to be loud and proud once we get going here, as they're going to have the national anthem.
We got a nice student section here tonight, and the theme looks to be Grout Fit. They're all in their gray outfits. So
Gray outfit?
Gray outfit. Grout Fit.
I want to pump you up.
That's right. Yep.
All right. I'll show my age with that reference. We're having the national anthem. That's okay. The national anthem over with. We're still dealing with technical difficulties down below, so we won't have the starting lineup and provided by the PA tonight here for the Central Riverhawks and the Holmen Vikings. But there you go. You get to see everybody come out. I didn't mark them either. Actually, I only talked to Coach Meyer for about 30 seconds and just got pronunciation since he'd already emailed me earlier. And honestly, starters to me, we'll see them.
Yep.
That's kind of how I look at everything. We'll see them once they come out. So we do have keys tonight for both coaches, though, so I do want to get to that. If I can move my papers around. Here we go. Vikings take care of the basketball, handle pressure, and play at our pace. That's what Coach Meyer said. Coach Ferget, take care of the basketball. Hey, how about that? Both teams talking about turnovers. Make sure our shot selection is good throughout and hit the offensive glass. On defense, he said stop penetration, consistent defensive help, and we have to limit to one shot. There are 163 games taking place on the boys' side of things tonight in the state of Wisconsin. You're watching the most important one right here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel.
That's right.
If you're just joining us, I'm Joel McCall. Alongside me is Nami George.
Joel, do you think turnovers are never not a key to the game?
I mean, everybody talks about them, right? I mean, it's kind of like serve and pass when we talk about volleyball. So I think it's just a given that both coaches are always going to talk about that, which is fine.
Officials for tonight, Mike Wendland, A.J. Halverson, and Cole Passy, a very good crew, one of my favorites.
Reed Tingblade into the jump circle along with Meyer. Or pardon me, Freed. And in the Freed right away, and two. Quickly for Central, 2 points.
Boy, Central immediately going inside. That was nice to see right away.
Yes, it was. Wilbur passed across the way, and everybody resets. I'll be mentioning it with Drew and Reed, trying not to say, I'll have to say their first names at times, so that way you know, because they're both obviously Tingblad. On the outside, right now it's Drew. Passes it off over to Iserman. Seacamp, that was another guy that Meyer mentioned in his email. I didn't specifically mention him, but he said Seacamp's coming into his own. Three-pointer on the way from Drew. It's short. Rebound coming out of there is Wilk. And up ahead.
Tyler Young, actually, isn't it?
Oh, 23, pardon me. Yeah, Tyler Young. I had 21. I don't know why I had him on my mind.
Tyler getting the start tonight.
Freed inside. Bank shot too strong. Trying to get his own rebound. Can't. And grabbed out of there by Seacamp. Over to the far side. Corner. Wilbur thought about it. Takes one dribble. Takes the three off the heel. Rebound coming out of there with Brindley. He'll push. 2-0. 16:40 to go here in the first half.
Boy, a hectic pace here to start the game.
You're telling me. I'm off my game too. Williams had a touch. Come back out. Corner, Freed. Three, Mendes!
Boy, he is just such a special player. Can score inside, can score outside. Very bouncy, very athletic.
5-0 run just by Freed, and Central leads. Wilbur circles, comes back over to the far side. Seacamp will line up a three-pointer to answer. It's off. Williams with a rebound for Central. 16 minutes here in the first half. Central leads 5-0. Williams over to the far side. Hasn't taken a shot yet. In fact, has anyone but Freed. I don't think so.
I don't either.
Lined up three-pointer for Meyer, but it's off the mark. We have a whistle.
Quick timeout.
Yeah, Meyer. Yeah, Coach Ryan Meyer taking an early timeout. We also want to thank Ultra as our sponsor for tonight. They're our official game day sponsor here at the Central High School tonight. So thank you for that.
Great partner of Central High School. We appreciate having them, and they do a lot for us here at Central. So.
And my mortgage.
Yeah, there you go, and your mortgage.
Actually, I think we have everything through them, checking, savings, and mortgage.
So do we,
yep.
Yeah, so they're a good credit union. Highly recommended.
Holmen coming out after that early timeout, 5-0. As you can see, we do have a new score bug, too, that we're all working on here. Josh Buxton has us down pat. All right, he gave me the fist bump. The Tiger Woods fist bump, even.
Does he have it 5-0?
He does.
Okay,
he's good. He's even got the clock going.
All right.
We're working our way up.
We'll see what he does after 5, because he can count to 5 on his fingers.
He's got, hey, how about 20?
Yeah.
He's got 2 hands and 2 feet. Far side after the turnover. Comes back out to Williams. Right back to Freed again, short. Rebound grabbed by Drew Tingblad. Outlet pass to Seacamp. Right inside. Good defense, too, by Freed. As that is off the mark. One and done for Holmen. Central still up by 5. Williams over the far side. Brindley back over. Freed, couple of dribbles to the wing, but got it off. Over to Williams. Back up to Young. Oh, flashed inside. Probably could have looked for him. Williams instead. One-on-one dribble. A little head and shoulder fake. Gets inside, short. Got his own rebound. Couldn't pad the stats, but he is fouled and will go to the free throw line for our first of the night. And 2 shots coming for Nick Williams. Williams on the year, 85% free throw shooter. I think that's the highest on the team, too.
Nick's so fun to watch. He's so explosive with his first step.
And what do you know?
Broadcaster jinx.
2023 stays just like it has for the last, boy, am I up to 12 years now? I'm 12, 13 years of broadcasting. Williams with one more. This one's good. 1 for 1, 6-0. Holmen sitting on the onion thus far.
I'm wondering if they're going to try and work it inside. I think that's what Coach Meyer called the timeout for. Tell them we got to work to get inside. We can exploit maybe a height advantage, size advantage.
They're settling for 3 so far.
Yeah.
And they need to stop doing that. You got to believe that that's exactly what they're trying to do is get inside. They do with Reed. Lost it for a moment, trying to get it back, and jump ball called. A lot of that having to do with Freed on the floor, getting that jump ball called. It stays with Holmen.
They had the look there, just couldn't complete the pass.
Yeah, thought the cut was pretty good.
Yeah.
Back to Reed. Over to Drew. Right back inside. Shot was off the mark, but a foul called. So 2 shots coming for Holmen. We'll see if they can get off the Schneid here at 14-24.
Seeing more of a intentional effort to get the ball inside here by the Vikings, which is probably smart.
And with Reed at the free throw line, he's not shooting very well at the free throw line. 41%. And the first one swishes. Maybe he just hasn't been there that much, too. I didn't look at how many attempts he's had. Sometimes that can deviate. Somebody could go 1 for 3.
Yeah, true.
You know,
true.
so I mean, I'm not sure how many he's had, but he goes 2 for 2 there to make it 6-2. Central up by 4. First half, MVC ball game. We'll have standings for you a little bit later. Williams back out, lined up. Nerdine, no. Rebound, batted around a bunch of times, and they're calling off of Holmen to stay with Central. I didn't see Nerdine check in.
Got a wide open look there. He'll knock that down if they give it to him consistently.
Right. Right back over his Strittmatter, and he couldn't quite hit, and a leak out. Drew got caught underneath the hoop, though, had nowhere to go. Little Euro step, and the shot no good for Wilbur. He actually had 2 of them and still can't put it home.
That was a really good job by Central getting back in transition. It looked like Coleman was going to get an easy layup. Bennett was able to sprint back and stop the ball.
Strittmatter takes it all the way in and scores. Peyton put it on the deck, and a soft touch off the backboard. 8-2 Central. A nice dribble drive. Giving up the baseline. Can't be doing that when you're the defender.
Had a nice finish at the rim there, too. That was
Yes, he
a good
did.
move.
Iserman having to deal with Williams. Gets a screen. The roll was not there, though. You would think you'd go right back in, though. You got to look for Reed on the one-on-one with Williams. They're trying. Fronting was there, though. Now gets it down low. Spins. Back inside. Scores. Nice aggressive move by Reed Tingblad.
Yeah, I think that's Holman's key there. They got to look to do that. But Boston was there on the help defense, but the size advantage was just too much.
Correct. Over the far side, Brindley attacks for a moment. Back out to Strittmatter. Jumping pass to Nerdine. Over to Williams. Straight down from us. Whip it back around. Nerdine not quite the clean look that he had earlier, so no firing that time. Oh, the backdoor cut.
He was there for a second.
He was.
Yep.
Would have had to be a tight window, though. Right back out Williams, sets his feet, corner, wing three. Yes, sir, for Nick Williams.
So smooth with the shot, looks effortless.
How about the patience?
Yeah, really.
That patience on offense to find that open, too. With that 3, 11-4, 7-point advantage for Central. You want to pick up your dribble there. Off of, ooh.
That was close.
I was wondering if it was off of Drew's leg, but they're going to call it instead off Freed. Stays with Holmen. 12 minutes even. 11-4 our score, Central leading.
Central very active on defense right now, and it's bothering the Vikings. You can see them coming way out, guarding at the volleyball line here.
Right. Which is a good idea. I mean, as long as you're not giving up the backdoor cuts,
yep.
which Burgett didn't have that open. Far side to Wilbur. Wilbur, 3. No good. Rebound interior, and strong rebound by Drew Tingblad, his first 2. Three-pointer didn't fall, but they get 2 out of it anyway. And driving baseline back out. Stripmatter for 3. Yes, sir!
Good pass by Henry Meyer there to find Peyton. Peyton lined it up and hit it.
Created that shot for him, did Meyer. Give him the assist, 14-6. There's the trap. Pass out of it. Drop down low to Reed. Up good and a foul. Nice pass. You know, if they're going to trap, you're going to talk about it anyway. Go ahead, Nami. Well, I'll mention the shot and good for Reed, and then you can go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple. If they're going to trap, that means somebody is open, somebody is unguarded, and Holmen just needs to keep their head up and find the open man. They did that there. Tyler Young was there on the help defense. Got a little too far under the basket, I think, to get a charge call. Ends up getting the blocking call, and the bucket is good. So we'll see if Coach Ferguson stays in that trap.
Right.
If Holmen hits that a couple times, I'm guessing that they will not.
Now Reed's 3 for 3 at the free throw line. He's up to 7 of the 9 for Holmen. 14-9. Those Central up. About to hit the 11-minute mark. Meyer over on the far side, but had to come back out with it. Young holds at quarter court. Not really where you want him either. Brindley back over. Stripmatter. Meyer. Head fake. Step back. Don't want to do that. Thought better of it. Williams over on the far side. You got to catch it clean if you want those three-pointers. I don't like that step back three-pointer. Right. Skip pass over to Williams. Long possession once again for Central, draining the ball. And Meyer at the top of the key three-pointer, batted around, comes back out, and everybody resets with Brindley. Drives inside, left-hand layup's good.
Tyler Young did an excellent job getting the offense rebound, giving Central a reset. And Boston with a great move to the basket. Boy, if he can provide some offense, look out.
And a travel called on Iserman at three-quarter court. A little substitution here for Holmen as they bring in Landon Ellis, junior with plenty of size as well. And Central's making a couple of substitutions as well. We'll see Hardy for the first time subbing in. This should be, I think Central's realizing it's their ball. I think a couple of the guys were, wait, we're going this way?
Antoine coming in to provide a little beef, maybe down in the post for Central.
Yep. Actually running point as Freed inside, layup short. Actually kind of got his feet caught underneath of him.
Yeah.
Almost traveled with it, really. Probably could have been called Iserman, though, instead. Holmen had cleared out on the defensive rebound. Down 16-9, a little backdoor cut underneath. And Ellis, who just subbed in, is rewarded for his positioning down low as he about had a late supper.
Yeah. Tough call there. I thought Bennett had it pretty clean, but must have got him with the body underneath. Hard, as a coach, I always hated that when the official up top called it when you got a guy standing right underneath there, but I suppose he has a different angle.
And Ellis with the free throw, no good. Ellis not averaging too much. He's under 4 points per game for Holmen. Found money if he scores some points. I think that's kind of the idea. That old winter jacket with the 20 that you spot. We just did that this past weekend.
I better go through all my jackets.
Oh, my wife found one in a jar. Didn't even realize we had money in it. Already at quarter court. Meyer back over to Freed. Not a lot of one-on-one action, which I like. I like Central's ball movement. thus far in this game.
They're being very patient offensively.
Well, you just don't see the four out, clear out, any of that stuff. It's been team basketball thus far for the Riverhawks. Keep moving it around. Still nothing happening. No, Freed thought about going one-on-one. Instead, off to Meyer. Over to Young. Cutting inside, Bremley not open. Meyer open after Wilbur gambled, but he left it well short.
Good offense there, a shot you'll live with. Henry's just got to knock that down.
Wilbur gave up a layup, and off to Ellis, who puts it through. Ellis went 0 for 2 at the free throw line, but does hit that little lefty bank. 16-11, 8 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the first half. Central still up by 5. Close game as we thought it would be. Hopefully we'll provide you as much as excitement as some of those bowl games we got to watch over the weekend.
That was awesome, yeah.
Hardy at the top of the key. Dribbles inside with his right. Euro step shot. Hit the rim twice. Freed looked like he was going to have the rebound. Instead, it's cleared out of there by Reed. And Tingblad all the way up ahead. Seacamp back over to the corner. Wilbur resets down to the very corner to Reed, but that's obviously not where he wanted to go. He's trying to establish himself on the low block. Couldn't do it. Good defense by the Riverhawks. Back over to Reed at the wing. In fact, he's the only Tingblad in there at the moment. I guess I could just call him that. Wilbur circles around, shoots the, I don't know if that was a deep 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it was a 3.
Okay. 16-11. I marked it as a 2. I didn't.
Well, you got to give Holmen credit here defensively, really stymieing Central. They're having trouble getting to the basket, having trouble winning their one-on-one matchups, not getting much backdoor.
Well, the last shot that Central got was really just because of a gamble by Wilbur.
Right.
Jumping in the passing lane. Otherwise, they've been keeping Central in front. That's excellent defense right there by Tingblad. Gave it up now, but blocked from behind and a foul. They're going to call that every time. Honestly, his defense was solid there until the last dribble. Then that's when Freed got freed up. And he'll be going to the free throw line for a pair. That is only the first foul on Reed Tingblad.
Bennett's such a great player. He was just waiting for one misstep, and he got the one misstep, and he was at the basket in an instant.
Because honestly, Reed was step for step with him, moving, shuffling, not gambling.
Yep.
And just the one little shoulder shimmy. He does sit as Bennett hits that first. They brought Drew Tingblad back in. Makes my life easier because then I can just say Tingblad. I don't have to say the first names. Typically I don't. Freed at the free throw line for one more. On the season, he's shooting 58%. Can them both. Make it. And we have a timeout. It's 18-11 then, 7:17 to go here in the first half. And tonight's game, in a nutshell, Central boys step on the home floor for the first time since December 2nd to play Holmen in the Mississippi Valley Conference. Last year, Riverhawks swept the Vikings by more than 30 in each game. They actually didn't play during the COVID season. And then, well, the history isn't really fair to the Vikings. It is Central on a 12-game winning streak over Holmen. The last win that Holmen had was February 5th of 2015, and that was by 2, 56-54. Since that time, they actually, Holmen pronouns, 2024-15 season, they went 2-0. Since that time, Central swept.
Yeah, Central's had a good run, that's for sure.
And the other games that are happening in the MVC, Sparta's at Aquinas, and Logan traveled to Toma. That's it. Alaska was off tonight. No game. Oh, and that ball came right out of Wilbur's hands, right into Freed. Attacks again. Right block. Good.
It was just token pressure that Central's putting on, and the ball just went right to Bennett. It hit off somebody's shoulder and right into Bennett's hands.
I was going to say the pass by Tingblad was not bad at all. It was right there in front of him to Wilbur, but bounced off of him. Freed took advantage. That's not what you want out of a timeout for Coach Meyer. Instead, it's 20-11. Seacamp looking down low. Tingblad up and over for Drew's second bucket for 4 points.
That was a nice move there.
Yes, it was. And a tough shot, high arcer.
Yep.
Williams inside of Freed. He got loose, and he scores again on the left block.
Bennett moving so well without the ball, got position. Nick found him, easy bucket.
22-13. Still a 9-point lead for Central. Past the halfway mark of half number 1. Down low to we're seeing a lot more of Ellis, and he gives a nice feed off, drops it easily for Drew. So Tingblad with back-to-back buckets. But Holmen got to get some defensive stops. Boy, I mean, if we had a shot clock, you'd be calling it that they did get a few stops.
Yeah, really.
Because Central has had it for at least 40 seconds a couple of times. This time, though, Williams sneaks in easily right off the. That's one of the easiest possessions Central's had.
Yep. Yeah, little defensive miscue there.
And that wasn't a hard cut by Williams. He's just coming through the paint.
Lulled his defender to sleep, I think.
Seacamp passes off. Tingblad looking for a screen. Gets one from Ellis. Comes back over the other side. Now takes a three-pointer and scores. Tingblad feeling it. 24-18. And Freed comes right back. No wasted motion for Bennett on a layup.
Looked like he thought about throwing that down and thought better of it on the way up.
I like the aggression too. Don't let your defenders sit in front of you too long as well. Just take it right to the hole.
Yep.
Seacamp backs up. Bounce pass to Wilbur. Brindley all over him. As we knew he would.
Yep. My favorite player to watch.
Wilbur.
Look at that.
Right. Spin move. Still lost it. Back over to the corner. Seacamp. Baseline dribble. Shot's good. Boy, he lost his footing too on the way down. But his little runner goes in. And right back over Brindley on a wild layup shot. No good. And it's Nardine there for the putback. He scores, and he's fouled.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be neutral, ain't I? Omar.
No, you're not.
Okay, good. Omar is one of my students, so I wanted that one bad.
Well, he got a late Christmas gift on that because it just bounced right off the backboard to him, and he laid it in. The foul is on Seacamp, his first. Team's third. Boy, what a clean first half we've had.
Really?
A whole 6 total fouls between the two teams, 3 apiece. That's solid. You come back from a holiday break, you assume that this is going to be a foul fest. And we're seeing Tobias Newman in for the first time for Holmen, the junior guard. Inside, little force pass from Reed to Drew, out of bounds off of Williams. Stays with Holmen, 28-20, 4:08 to play here in the first half. I wonder what time game time was, because this thing's flying by.
Yeah, I think we started a little early.
It's only 7:30 at the moment, and we're nearing halftime.
You know what's going to happen, though? You're going to jinx it.
I know, we're going to have a long second half.
Yep.
Seacamp three-pointer, far side, rebound Freed. And a clear out. I think Holman's also settling too much for the deep shot.
They are. They need to work it inside.
Meyer head fake, back out Freed. Three-pointer, no. Side rim, Williams flies right in. Meyer on a second chance. Three, Mendes!
All set up by Nick Williams, working hard on the offensive glass. Comes flying in, as you said. Really came out of nowhere. Nobody boxed him out.
Oh, he
almost
gambled there. Yeah, back to Newman. That three-pointer puts Central up by 11. Double-digit lead. Corner three-pointer off the heel. I was trying to figure out who that was. Seacamp over there. Meyer back-to-back. No. Short off the corner. And it's Ertz with the rebound. Meyer 1 for 4. Maybe is settling a little too much for those. Brindley with the quick hands. Out to Meyer. Layup. Good, and a foul! What an outlet pass.
Great pass.
And Meyer tracks it down with a right-hand layup and is fouled from behind. And Newman should have let him go.
Great pass, and Henry really sprinted to get that ball. Finished at the hoop, through the contact. Big play here, and Holman's in a little bit of a danger zone here. Down 13, chance to go down 14.
Right.
Holman needs to figure this something out here quick.
I could tell you what would have happened with that pass if you or I were tracking it, but Meyer much more athletic than the two of us.
Combined?
Yes.
Yep.
As Josh Buxton looks over and shakes his head violently. 34-20, and a steal. Freed up.
Oh!
Throw it down, young man.
And Coach Meyer is going to take a timeout here.
If you can do it, why not?
Yep.
I can't dunk it. I'm a little envious. I can on Owens mini hoop. 36-20, 2:42 to go in the first half. 16-point lead for the Riverhawks. It's Balloon. They've led the entire way. We've had no ties throughout this entire first half. Started early, and Central's defense now transitioning to their offense.
Yeah, and that's going to get the crowd going. I mean, they were already pretty excited, but a dunk, that does wonders for the gym. And did you see how high up he got on that jump? I mean, he just explodes to the basket. Threw it down, 16-point lead. Holmen turning it over in the backcourt. Really going to have to, and it's not really traps or anything like that. They're just turning the ball over.
15 for Freed now in the ball game. As
I don't think we've seen in the full court. We haven't seen a trap out of Central.
No,
it's just been man-to-man pressure.
We've saw a half-court trap right across half-court. I mean, right there at the line. But we have not seen a full-court trap.
Holmen just being a little loose with the ball, and it's leading to easy points for Central.
Should mention that the girls basketball team is at Holmen tonight. We wish them well. Hopefully we'll have a score update at some point. I know you were kind of working on that too, so hoping that somebody was there at the ball game to help us out.
Yeah, if anybody's got a score update, feel free to text me so I can get that on the air for us.
Tag me at Twitter.
Tag
you at Twitter. I don't care. Somebody. Oh, a lot of hand touching there. Stripmatter called for the foul. That one was pretty easy.
I only have like 3 friends and they're all here, so I'm not going to be able to.
And I got no friends.
Oh, there you go.
Not here anyway. I guess I consider you and Josh my friends.
And we're all here.
And we're here. Yep. So my wife's at home. She didn't go. It's got about Owen's bedtime by now.
Oh, yeah.
Far side, back out. Seacamp. Quarter court line, dribbling. Drops it up. Nice pass. And 2 down low for Reed.
I really think Holmen needs to stick with that, not settle for those outside shots. I know it's tempting, especially when you get down by a lot. But the way to get back in this game is to work it inside and try and use that size advantage.
Starts on this end. Got to have stops. Williams on a three-pointer far side. And Meyer is there on the putback. They're playing 21. Williams was out.
Central really hurting Holmen on the offensive boards right now.
Yes, which is a key that Coach Ferguson mentioned in his keys tonight when it came to his email, mentioning the offensive rebounding. I think he got a little tired of some teams taking advantage of the lack of offensive rebounds and second chance points. And a big three-pointer there from Reed. Tingblad with the three-pointer. Both him and Drew are the only ones that have hit from deep thus far for Holmen, 38-25. Freed lost it all the way in and off of the right leg, out of bounds. Minute 20 left to go.
Boston put a little mustard on that pass, a little too much to handle for Bennett.
Yeah. Crossover dribble for Iserman. Didn't want to get trapped. Dished it off to Reed at the jump circle. He gives it right back to Drew. Corner, Wilbur. As you said, you can't get impatient if you're the Holmen Vikings. I realize you're down by 13, but you want your best shot, not your just one to hoist.
Yep.
Back up to half court for Iserman. Wilbur with a touch. Far side for Drew. No good on the three-pointer from the far wing. Freed comes out with the rebound. Brindley back to Freed. It's going to be a walk-up, and Central will hold for the final shot.
Yep.
He used to cover a team called West Fork, the Warhawks in north central Iowa. Frank Schnoes, their head coach, a lot like Coach Ferguson. Old school, hold on to the basketball for, if they cross at 40 seconds, they're still going to utilize it.
Absolutely.
Williams, head, shoulders fake. Over to Meyer, corner three, no. And a rebound, batted around, and that will be it for the first half.
It looked like Central could have got an offensive rebound there. I think they thought the clock was going to go off quicker than it did.
Right.
And kind of gave up on the play.
Well, that wasn't Williams. That was Meyer that had the three-pointer. Better mark that down to the right person. So halftime score 38-25 as Central Riverhawks leading the Holmen Vikings 25-38. Great first half really for Central coming out. They established everything that they wanted on offense early and never gave up the lead. And in fact, as you said, with about 4 minutes left in this first half, that's when things kind of ballooned and the momentum swung to the Riverhawks, getting some turnovers and then leading to that big dunk right before halftime.
Yeah, and it's really been Central doing it on the defensive end and forcing turnovers on Holmen and getting easy baskets, forcing that full court pressure that's giving Holmen some problems. They've turned the ball over a couple times in the backcourt, and against a team like Central, you just can't do that. Central's going to score on that 99% of the time. You know, I was really impressed with Holmen early on with their defense. They started to have some defensive breakdowns there towards the second end of the first half, the second half of the first half, if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay, good. Really started to have some defensive breakdowns and led to some easy baskets. And then the other thing was the offensive rebounds by Central, getting second and third opportunities. And, you know, against a good team, and Central certainly is a good team against a good team, they have to be one and done. If they get 2 or 3 opportunities, that's gonna equal trouble for you. So I think Holmen needs to, if I'm Coach Meyer in the locker room, talking about boxing out defensively, making sure they get one shot, and then offensively, I'd really like to see them try and work it inside more. When they've done that, they've had success. Now, I know they've hit some threes, okay, but the problem is you're not going to do that consistently enough throughout the game to win this game. So work it inside, get some good shots. Maybe then the defense will start collapsing down, and that'll open up some of your shooters for those threes later on. But you don't need to come down and pass it around 4 or 5 times and then just launch.
Right.
You know, work the ball around and kind of work inside out. So we'll see if Holmen, I'm guessing Coach Meyer will be talking about that, and they'll come out and try and force it inside again.
Because I had them at 2 for 6, Holmen, from deep, but I don't even think I marked everything down. I've been trying to take live stats as we go, and so I don't even know if I think I felt like they shot more than 6 throughout that first half.
Yeah, it
and
did
they
feel like
kind
that.
of settled too much on the deep shot. They went 3 of 5 at the free throw line for Holmen. Again, pronouns. For Holmen, I had 2 points for Seacamp, 2 for Ellis, and then the rest of it all comes from Tingblad. Drew had 9 and Reed with 12.
They're good players. They had some nice post moves down there. They're the ones hitting the threes.
Right, but you got Wilbur with nothing.
Yep.
Iserman, nothing. I mean, they have really limited, Central has limited Holmen's backcourt to essentially nothing, but a couple of turnovers and a few assists in this entire first half.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Ferga, you know the Tingblads are going to score points. I mean, they're good basketball players, so you focus on shutting down the other guys and make those 2 guys beat you alone, and you know that's not going to happen. So I think Coach Ferga probably is pretty happy with the defensive effort. I would have been very happy with the defensive effort. You know, where can Central improve? Got a little sloppy sometimes on offense, had some turnovers. I don't know, did you keep turnovers?
I don't keep turnovers.
Okay. Yeah,
I have so much other stuff to...
I don't know how many turnovers they had, but there were a couple opportunities there where they missed some easy baskets, so you clean up the turnovers a little bit. But other than that, I thought Central's very methodical offensively, broke down that Holmen defense, which was good to start, broke down that defense, and then started getting some easy baskets based off of their defense.
Now for Central, then 4 of 12 from three-point land. They were 4 of 6 at the free throw line, led by Bennett Freed with 15 points. Henry Meyer had 8. Williams added 6, 5 for Stripmatter, and 2 for Nerdine, and 2 for Brindley. So, I mean, Brindley, you're not asking him to score 100 points either. I mean, he's doing the work that we've been talking about with the hustle points, the tip balls, those types of things, getting in the passing lane. So he's doing the other things that Central is asking him to do. And we talked about Meyer at the opening of the broadcast. Girls update tied at 15, pardon me. Tied at 15, 5 minutes left in the first half.
Excellent.
Huh? Yeah, right? Tied up. Tie game. Who was it that
It
sent
was
that?
Kathy Heiderscheit, so send a shout out to Kathy for sending us the score update. Hopefully she can keep that up. That'd be fantastic. So
Yes,
we can
thank you for
keep
that.
our viewers informed on how the girls are doing. We'll have them Thursday night.
Yep.
Big intra-city matchup.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I'll run down everything that we have going on. We have Boys hockey was tonight. They were taking on Winona, and then, as we said, the girls basketball team at Holmen. The girls hockey is versus Hayward coming up on Thursday at 5 o'clock. Wrestling goes to Onalaska on Thursday at 6 o'clock, and we have girls basketball right here versus Logan Thursday night on the YouTube channel. We'll have it for you. We'll have the varsity game whenever it starts. We'll probably start the broadcast between around 7:05, as we've been getting going actually a little early here lately. And then, of course, the Logan game on Friday night is the boys' game, and we'll have that one for you right here on the YouTube channel as well.
Should be a fun end of the week. Those intercity matchups. I'll tell you what, Joel, you haven't had much experience with it, but just wait.
Just volleyball, that's it.
Yeah, it's a different experience, and it doesn't matter what the records say or what anything says. Those two teams are out to win that game, and so that'll be fun to watch, both the boys and the girls.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It should be a great game. I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I'd rather just have them both on Friday night and have a doubleheader. But
that would have been great.
That's
and we used to do that. I don't know if the schedule didn't line up this year for that, or it might be an officials thing. I don't know. We used to
probably
do that.
Officials.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my guess. That's probably the bigger story there. Yeah, so Logan on the 6th, and then Central boys are back for 2 more games next week, and we actually have four broadcasts here on the YouTube channel next week because we'll have wrestling. I believe that's Thursday night, and I'm trying to remember which nights. So, which nights are we going here? Tuesday's boys basketball. Do we have a game Monday?
We might.
We might have a broadcast next Monday then.
I'm sure our viewers are really excited about getting some more of my wrestling insight. I provide so much to that broadcast.
We were good the other night.
We did all right.
We did
all right.
fine.
You know, not our well, you're good, not my strength. But I can film.
I wouldn't say I'm good, but I know what I'm doing.
I'll make sure I film so at least people that know what's going on can see it for themselves.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm an expert when it comes to the wrestling. I'm not an expert in anything. Except for this.
It was exciting to watch, though.
It was. We had a good duel the other night on air. If you missed it, you can go back. We do have girls basketball on Monday against Eau Claire Memorial. Then we have the boys on Tuesday, and then wrestling Thursday. Then another broadcast on Friday.
Well, that's a busy week.
We will, yeah.
It's a good thing I like you, Joel. I'm going to be spending a lot of time with you.
Right. Yeah. I'm surprised you still like me after I gave you my head cold. Now my son's dealing with that. 38-25 is our score. Again, we want to thank Ultra for being our game day sponsor here at Central for tonight's ball game. So they've been giving out a bunch of stuff. I don't know. They had some bands and
light
stuff.
Up bracelets, it looks like.
Yeah,
they're
that's
pretty cool.
what it was.
Yep.
So that's what they were handing out. And, of course, several information about what they offer as far as checking and savings and whatnot. So check them out, Ultra Credit Union.
And we're always looking for sponsors.
Right.
Any business could be a sponsor for our broadcast. We'll mention you all night long if you want. We'll even we'll get Coach Buxton working on getting a graphic up.
Yes.
We'll get you a lot of exposure. So if you're interested in that, make sure you contact us. Give a shout out to Jocelyn Buxton tonight,
who's listening at home,
enjoying our broadcast tonight.
38-25. This has been a fun first half, a quick first half. Fouls-wise, we talked about it. I think we ended up with 7. It was either 6 or 7 for the entire first half. So very quick first half. It's been a good ball game. Should be a great second half here coming up for the Central Riverhawks and the Holmen Vikings. Thank you again for tuning in here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel. Happy to be a part of your evening.
That is one of the things I like about this officiating crew. Halverson and Wenlin and Passy, they let you play, and it was that way all the way when they used to have our games back when I was a girls coach. They let you play, and you know that going in, and it's both ways.
Yes.
So and that's all you can ask for as a coach. It's both ways. You know it's going to be a physical game. They don't want to get in the way. They don't want to be the one deciding. I really like that. I'd rather have it that way than a foul every time down the floor. It makes the basketball more fun to watch. There's more flow to the game.
When you can play physical then too, instead of kind of like a hand check. All they call a foul. So
basketball's a contact sport.
Right.
It just is.
Let's not have any contact the way it was last night.
Oh no, God, that was awful. That was awful.
I still have not heard any more updates.
No. And that's concerning. You would hope that you would think if they had good news.
We should explain what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about Hamlin from last night, the Buffalo Bills safety who came up and made a hit and honestly didn't look that bad, but And I didn't want to see it again after I saw it once. That was enough. I will say this. I felt terrible for the players, the coaches, and everyone else. But as a fellow broadcaster, I felt horrible for Colbert, Susie Colbert, and Booger McFarland. And Adam Scheffler.
They did a really nice job with that, though, in a tough spot. I thought they did a really good job on their broadcast.
That's a very difficult spot. Plus, you got Buck and Aikman at the facility. They're trying to just give you as much information as possible. Huge shout-out. I'm not a huge Joe Buck fan, but that's a big shout-out. Tough position to be in, and they handle it with class, which I figured they would. I mean, any type of situation, Buck can get serious in a hurry, so... Freed inside. Ooh, shot short. Got his own rebound. Blocked from behind and a foul called on Reed. So here we go. Second half underway. Banter will be over, I promise. We're done. Freed 15 in the first half. Led all scorers. Had the game high and a foul called on Reed. That was his second.
Was that off an offensive rebound?
Yes.
Yep, so right away.
Second chance.
Yep.
Freed misses the first free throw, going 4 for 6 in the first half, where the Central Riverhawks at the free throw line. Freed had been there for 2 and went actually 2 for 2. One more coming off of his right hand, and it's good. 39-25.
A little man-to-man press here. I didn't know if Nick was going to go over and trap or not, but they decided not to.
Yeah, they said they did back off.
They don't really need to because they've gotten turnovers on just the man-to-man pressure. So
right.
You don't need to take that gamble. See if Holmen works it inside here. I'm guessing they will.
Eiserman is trying to get a screen. Instead, bad pass off to Meyer for Central. Layup, good. So a steal and score immediately for Henry Meyer.
With the pressure that Central applies on defense, you're not going to be able to complete a cross-court pass like that.
No.
Was that one of the young guys for Holmen?
That was, I think it was Seacamp that actually threw that, so yes.
Yeah.
He's a junior. He's open this time for a three-pointer. It's off the mark on the far side. He's 0 for 3 as Seacamp for Holmen from deep. That missed three-pointer. It's up to a 16-point lead for Central after the steal and score on their last possession for the Riverhawks. You just kind of feel that these first couple of minutes are so important. And Freed misses on a reverse layup. Great pass by Williams to open it up as Meyer tips it out of bounds over on the far side as the pass was coming to Seacamp.
Henry Meyer being very active defensively here to start the second half.
Might have been talked about a little bit too, by Coach Ferget, because we didn't call Meyer as much on the defensive side. I guess that's the only thing I was going to say. Talked about his offense though.
Making his presence felt defensively right away here early in the second though.
He's all over Seacamp.
He is.
As Eiserman had to bring it off. Drew over on the far side, down low Reed. Shot, no good. And the rebound ends up finding Reed. The third chance for Reed, and he puts it through and is fouled.
Ball was loose on the floor there for a little bit.
I think Brindley honestly either lost his footing or just didn't realize the ball was live.
Yeah.
Because Brindley had the chance first.
Looked like he was right there, yeah.
Instead, it ends up being a foul called on Tyler Young, which is his second.
They're going to get a free throw violation here. I think Bennett stepped in a little early.
Yep, lane violation. There it is. So Reed will have one more.
I was hoping Cole Posse didn't see it, but he doesn't miss anything. Cole doesn't miss anything. Hawkeye.
Reed went for 12 in the first half, trying to get an and one and get up to 15 for Holmen. 41-27, shorted it. Brindley there. This time made sure he grabbed the rebound.
Really chinned that one.
Yes.
You could tell he was frustrated about the last one he missed.
Far side to Williams. Back off to Brindley. Meyer, Freed, and Young. 5 on the floor for the Riverhawks. Rotate around Brindley. Down low to Williams. Spin.
Oh.
Nice play there for Williams on the low block. Haven't talked much about Williams either as far as his offense. He had 6 in the first half, but that was a pretty quiet 6.
A nice little spin cycle move down there on the low post for Nick. So smooth.
But he actually had a height advantage down there as Seacamp opens himself up for a three-pointer. No good. Rebound Reed off to Drew. Banked it in.
So a couple offensive rebounds here for Holmen. That's something that Central's going to have to start focusing on. That's a way for Holmen to get back in the game if you get 2 or 3 opportunities each possession.
Williams on this near side for Central. 43-29. Meyer, three-pointer, and a deep one for Henry.
Offensively, Henry's improved so much over the years.
And Brindley gets a little tap off the pass and a steal. Freed too strong, though, off the backboard. Williams got it back. Freed. Yeah, it's on the floor, though. Drew jumped. Freed didn't go up immediately. Otherwise, it probably would have been an and one. And instead, the foul's going to be called on the floor on Drew.
In the NBA, and one.
Well, yes, that's true. You could take 4 steps
Yeah.
and have the continuation called in the league. Meyer, oh, he wanted the three-point. He probably should have taken the first one. He was open. Free instead. Rotation 3. Mendes for Bennett Freed. And the lead just keeps growing as a full timeout called. It's up to 20, 49-29. Central up on Holmen as, let's see, 11-4 run to start the second half for Central Riverhawks.
As soon as Bennett hit that shot, I looked over at Coach Meyer and I saw him put his head down. Bennett, he provides such a mismatch on the offensive side of the ball because he can go down low and he can score at the post. He can drive to the basket. He's very explosive and bouncy. And then if he's knocking down threes, what do you do with him? And I think that's what Coach Meyer was saying. If he hits that shot, he's hard to defend. He really is.
Right. Once he's able to stretch you all the way out and hit a couple tray bombs, which he has tonight.
And you come out and guard him. You come out and guard him, and he's going right around you. I mean, he's hard.
Right.
He's hard to guard.
We've seen everything in his repertoire tonight. We saw the dribble drive penetration. We saw the dunk.
Yep.
And then we've seen the three-pointers as well. So, as you said, matchup nightmare for Holmen. And right now, everything clicking for Central Riverhawks. 49-29 over Holmen. Speaking of, I was going to mention with the Holmen Vikings, they are hosting Marshfield, the team that we saw 31 days ago right here in this gym. So that's coming up on the 6th. That's their next ball game. So they go out of conference in their next matchup. Let's see what Holmen could do after the timeout. Give and go to Wilbur. Back out to Reed at the elbow. Working with Meyer guarding him. Shot was short. Rebound, though, come out of there with Drew. High arcer over Freed. That's no good. And Central does able to clear after another offensive rebound, though. And everybody leaves Williams. Oh, he was leaning forward. I thought there was no chance he was going to go in. But instead he hits the top of the key three-pointer.
Central's starting to get hot here now, and that's not what Coach Meyer wants to see.
I could not give him the 3 Mendes because I never thought that was going to go in. As Wilbur takes steps. The sophomore guards are learning on the fly for Holmen this year. As we talked about with Leeser, their junior that tore the ACL prior to an ACL injury. I guess I didn't say officially if he tore it, but him being out left a giant hole for Holmen and their leadership in their backcourt.
Sure.
That ball's tipped. Williams had to go down on the deck to get it, and it actually would have been a 3-on-2 underneath. Coach Ferguson, though, called the timeout first. 13:38, second half, 52-29. Just unbelievable second half the Riverhawks have had coming out. The standings, we should talk about that, too, in the Mississippi Valley Conference. I know Central is 1-0. However, Aquinas and Unalaska are both 2-0. So they're the 1-2 in the standings. Central's now in third. Holmen sitting at 1-1, coming in here tonight at 4. And then Sparta, Logan, Toma all with an 0 so far. Sparta 0-1, Logan and Toma 0-2.
Watching the way some of the teams in our conference are playing, we have a really interesting couple months coming up. There's going to be some big-time matchups. Aquinas playing really well. Unalaska, of course, playing really well.
Right, and they're just starting it. I mean, this is just getting going with that conference schedule as Williams tries to finish with his left. I love the shot selection, though, by Williams. I know he didn't make it as Freed flied in and got the tip, but I love the way that Williams tried to make that with his left hand, because that gets the defender. He's blocking out the defender on that shot.
Doesn't it feel like Nick can get to the basket anytime he wants?
Yes. And there's Wilbur for a three-pointer, his first of the night for Holmen. Up to Brindley, inside to Meyer. Lost the handle and out of bounds. He actually thought it was off of Tingblad, who was guarding him. That'd be Reed, but official was right there, saw it off of Meyer first, and a turnover on Central. Can't get lackadaisical either, though. This is a Holmen group that we talked about had been in every game thus far in their season. I know this is one of their biggest deficits they had all year, as far as even at the halftime score being down this much, as Wilbur attacks and a scoop left-hand layup. A lot of dribbling, though, by himself, as Meyer comes right back. Oh, and hit Freed down low, falling. That could have been dangerous.
Looks like everybody's okay, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, Freed kind of shook it off, as did Meyer. 56-34 after those quick two buckets, one from each team. Wilbur over the far side. That's Ellis, who had subbed in. Back off to Drew, looking inside to Reed, who's double teamed. Skip pass over on the near side. Burgett, who hasn't even taken a shot yet tonight. Wilbur gets to the right wing. Shimmy, shake, head fake. Just too much dribbling, but it ends up working out for him anyway. He scores.
So Henry Meyer is guarding Reed Tingblad, giving up a lot of size on the defensive end. But I want you to watch next possession. Watch how hard Henry is working down there to hold his position. He's really battling down there. I think Holmen is trying to get inside, but because of Meyer, they can't get it in there.
And
Nice
Meyer on the cut that time. Williams feeds Meyer for two. Beautiful basketball right there. Lots of movement without the ball, and ends up working out for a layup.
Henry starting to show why he was on the all 608 tournament team.
Yes. A little bit of a slow start for him, but it ends up he's finishing well. Williams running point after the turnover, right down to Freed, who caught underneath the basket. Inside Williams, back out Myers open. Oh, off
Looked
the
good
rim
from here.
twice.
I thought that was in.
I would have pulled the trigger.
Yep,
You
I was
were
ready
waiting for it too.
Yep.
Burgett with a couple of dribbles, trying to look down low.
There's Henry, though.
Oh, Meyer. I thought he might actually make it.
Yep.
Tipped it up. Meyer on the steal.
Saw him there working to get around in front of the low post.
Freed with the underneath double pump reverse. 60-36 Central leads. 10:30 to go in the second half.
That was a Jordan-esque move.
Yes.
Adjusted in the air.
And Wilbur with the shot. No good. Rebound. Meyer off to Brindley. And his reverse layup, though, off the front rim. Wilbur open for three. Already hit one. Hits a second in the second half. He's putting up a nice second half. He had no points in the first half, and he's up to, he actually hits double figures with that three-pointer at 10. Good to see a sophomore guard, though, kind of shake off that first half as a little push shot there for Williams sinks through. Because a lot of times, Nami, you know all about it as a coach. Those young players get an offer in that first half. They try to force things. He's probably forced a little bit, but at the same time, he's made some shots.
And as a coach, regardless of the score, you like to see those young kids grow up in front of your eyes.
Right, and that's exactly what's happening for Holmen. And this is going to be for the next month and a half. You know, this is how that's going to be for the Vikings. And we'll see how they can respond and grow over the course of the next month and a half before they get into the postseason. Of course, they're in Division I, where Central's in Division II, so in different divisions, not going to see each other in the postseason. But I think that's important, too, because if this group can come together and some of these sophomore guards take a little leap for Holmen, look out late in the season.
They definitely got some pieces that make them a dangerous team, that's for sure.
We got a foul called.
They got the coaching staff in place. I know that.
Right. Meyer was at the free throw line. Now, how come he only took one there? Did he
It was an and one.
Oh, I didn't think he made that.
He made it.
All right.
Little almost NBA continuation on it, but they gave it to him.
I thought it was, honestly, I thought it was on the floor.
Yeah.
And didn't realize he had made it.
Yep.
62-41. 9 minutes and change. Thank you again to Coach Buxton for providing our score bug. Now you won't have the secondary camera.
Don't have to worry about that getting kicked when we have busy crowds.
Correct. We're going to take care of everything right here in-house moving forward. As we had a couple of substitutions come in, as Hardy had subbed in. Did I miss that? No, yeah, Nardine actually subbed in too. Freed gets down low and Toilet rolls one in for Central. 64-41.
Boy, they've been methodical, haven't they, offensively, really working the ball around and getting the matchup they want.
Just an engine coming down the tracks. Oh, that was close. Could have been called. Noah Ertz called for the foul.
So Omario, Krause, Nardine got position there. And who was the Holmen guy?
That was Noah Ertz.
Noah Ertz got frustrated and kind of grabbed Omar. So he got the foul, and then he slammed the ball down, and when Mike Wendland gave him a look like, don't make me do this.
Right.
He thought about it.
He did. Because a lot of times when you do throw the ball down, especially if you don't grab it.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you throw the ball down and just like kind of spike it and put it back in your arms, they won't call anything. But
you know what, though? I like that he didn't call technical there.
Same.
The kid's frustrated.
Nardine, how did he make that?
Got a nice roll. He's living right.
Right? I guess.
Straight up off the back iron.
Thought I was going to hit the pole up above. Instead, just drops through. Back out to Wilbur. Hit 2 already. This time, the Ertz does get the offensive rebound. Three-pointer hoisted up by Seacamp. He can't find it. And we have another foul down below. I think it was on it was on Ertz again. Yes, it was. That's the 4th foul on Holmen here in the second half. Just 2 fouls for Central. That's the total we had in the first half was just 6.
Central being really physical on the box out and starting to frustrate the Holmen players a little bit.
Meyer back out Young. Hardy over on the far side. Nardine and Freed. That's your 5 on the floor right now for Central. Forced pass by Young. Tipped around Holmen with Wilbur. Comes out with it. Seacamp thought about it. Wilbur. Would have been a quarter court shot. Don't want to do that. Keep working it around. Instead, it's tipped by Freed. Dunked it in again.
Boy, did you see how fast he got from the time he got the ball to the time he got to the rim. So fast and explosive.
I'm just glad that Wilbur tried to get out of the way because I didn't want to see a foul. You know,
right.
You don't want him making a mistake and fouling on that. Second half just started. Holmen leading 31-26. That's the girls' game happening at the same time as this one.
The girls need a win.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They had a couple of really tough games over at Reedsburg over the holiday break. Fell short on both. Close games.
It sounded like they were in both.
Yes. We'll get to see them coming up on Thursday night. We'll see if they can defeat Logan. And the boys will get their chance for a clean sweep if the girls can win on Thursday. As Meyer tips that out of bounds. On the sideline, 68-41, 6 minutes, 48 seconds. He's got her. All over it. Hopefully you like the score bug now and the way it's all set up. We like it.
The multi-talented Josh Buxton.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what he can't do. He can run the score bug.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
he runs the music for the PA.
Runs the music. Yep.
Prior to the game, he sets everything up. I got it. I come up here and all I have to do is hook up my headphones.
Indispensable.
Right? Oh God, yes. Never can tell until you don't have one, a good producer, what they're worth. I had a couple of good ones this past fall for the NJCAA. And it's always just so nice when you get the communication and whatnot and everything's working properly. Yep. I come in tonight and Mark was like, trying to get internet. I'm like, up above or? And he's like, no, I think it's my phone. Thankfully, everything was working up here already. trying to work out the bugs so the rest of our season goes well. As Newman hits a three-pointer for Holmen.
Technology is always great when it works.
Yes. Well, and about the end of this month, it might be you and Buxton on the call. And we'll see how,
right.
And we'll see how that goes. As Meyer drives baseline and to throw it back out. Hardy. Head fake. Skipped over. Nerdine. Yes, sir!
Mario, offensive explosion tonight.
All right. He is up to 7 and 73-44. Young going to get called for a foul there. That was a pretty clear foul. That's his third.
Happy for Mario. Such a good kid. Works so hard. In the classroom, just a joy to have. Love that kid.
He'll actually sit now. For Central. 73-40. We'll probably see some guys that we haven't seen much. Well, we haven't seen these guys much.
True.
This is only their second home game of the season. As Reed drives baseline, skip pass back out over to the corner. Seacamp, no good. Backside rebound for Reed. Tingblad goes inside to the trees. Shot was off the mark, and they'll call it off of him because we see Noah Dingle in, and that's one of the first times we've seen him. So making some changes, which is good. That's what you should be doing when you're up by almost 30.
Get some experience here from the guys that don't see a lot of court time.
Well, there's a lot of, respect and camaraderie with those coaches in the MVC. You see them twice a year. You don't want to. Nobody wants to rub anything in your face. That three-pointer by Dingle is no good. Hardy comes back around. Meyer going to take a three-pointer instead. Mendes. That'll be my last one of the night.
Henry really having a great second half.
Yes.
Defensively and offensively.
Well, we're supposed to have at least somebody come up and join us for an interview prior to the ball game ending. Right after the game ends. We won't talk to a player while they're playing.
I'm going to deliver for you. Who do you want, Joe? You tell me, and I'll get him up here.
That's a tough call.
I'm going to make it happen
because Meyer has played well. Freed obviously has been electric. And you got Brindley, that's a travel on Dingle, but
did a good job defense. Did a good job fronting the post there, getting position.
Yes.
Just got his feet tangled up, but Noah providing a little post presence for the Riverhawks.
Axness comes in. We're just seeing all these other changes.
Getting some height in there for Central with Dingle and Axness.
Cahill also is subbed in. That shot's no good for Drew.
That was a nice move, just didn't get the finish.
Right. Things kind of slipped away from Holmen, but at the same time, look at the overall roster of what Holmen has, and they're going to be okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep, they got some good players. They got good coaches. They'll be fine.
Run into a buzzsaw this evening, but overall, we got another foul. This is the fifth foul. This is on Cahill. That's only his first. Team's fifth, as we're just 3 minutes, 23 seconds away from the ball game ending.
When Coach Buxton and I were coaching girls basketball, we'd have nights like this, and you just realize some days you're the windshield and some days you're the bug.
Well, Newman has come in off the bench here in the second half and hit 2 3-pointers. We talked about Wilbur hitting and having a much better second half than he did first half for Holmen. So the game will start to come to the sophomore guards. And if they could get going with their offense and kind of working inside out and hit some of those outside shots, that's going to open things up for Tingblad, both of them, as that shot was missed by Axness.
A fan favorite, Axness. The crowd was ready to go nuts there.
Apparently, and the layup no good for Cahill.
Central fans excited to see some of the reserve players getting a chance to play and try and get in the scoring column.
Oh, and a step back 3-pointer way out the mark for Burgett. A foul called underneath. Was that on Holmen or was that on Central? Holmen. No, Central. It was called on Central. I haven't put anything up yet. It should be the 6th foul. Nothing's marked yet. 76
Oh, it was a jump ball, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
76-47 our score. As Central's leading. I didn't see the call. Thank you, Donnie.
I didn't either. I watched the score tape.
Drew Larson, three-pointer in the corner off.
Derek Pangier going up for the big rebound.
Yeah, we hadn't talked about him yet.
Somebody getting the scoring column here now.
Right. Hardy we have seen. Obviously, he plays some role minutes here and supporting minutes for Central.
They're trying to get it to Access. Come on now.
Yes, they did. Oh, three-pointer too strong. Hardy finding it. Tried to throw it off, and it worked. We didn't quite see it because of the student section standing, but it goes off of Larson, and it'll stay with Central.
Heady play there by Antoine. Was going to go out of bounds, turned and found a defender to throw it off of.
He actually subs out now, too. I think Wilk came in, yes. Reset everything for the offense for Central. Cahill drives, tried to kick it back out, stolen away. Newman for Holmen. He had nowhere to go, got tangled up by two and out of bounds off of him. 76-47, just a minute 37 to go here in the second half. Central are going to move to 6-2 on the year. They'll go to 2-0 in the conference. Holmen will fall to 4-3 and 1-2 in the conference. Three-pointer by Wilk. You know, guys, I do tally up the three-pointers at the end of the night. You're hurting the team overall.
The percentage.
The percentage, yeah.
I've watched Wilk.
Oof.
I've watched Wilk play on the varsity reserve. He can really shoot the ball. I'd like to see him get one down.
Drew Larson hits instead for Holmen.
I'm guessing Coach Fergut doesn't want him shooting threes at this point, though.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
You bring in your subs, you don't really want the three-pointers hoisted up throughout the entire final four minutes and change. Instead, Axness was fouled on his dribble drive. Ellis will be called for his first. Team's fifth, and we're under a minute anyway.
Dane's hurt. Looks like he's shaking his wrist. He came down hard. Now you got to go to the line and shoot a free throw. Hopefully he's feeling better.
Nope.
All right, Dane, come on, make this one. Get in the column.
Well, he's in the column.
Let's get in the scoring column.
There you go.
All right.
Second one for him. Oh, short. Rebound. I believe Wilk had stepped out of bounds already. Just 57 seconds left. I don't know who to. I guess we better get Freed because he's going to have the high mark of the night, I believe. Let me do some tallying here real quick. I'm going to miss a shot or two, but that's okay.
Cahill with the rebound. 40 seconds left. See if Central waits for one. Oh, nice pass.
Freed will end up with 27. Who scored that?
Wilk.
Wilk.
Nice pass from Cahill.
Freed at 27. Meyer finishes with 20. So I guess we better get Freed up here.
All right.
Larson has hit two from over there, but can't hit the third.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
he reversed it out.
You know what? I love it. That's a smart play. He could have been selfish and taken the layup there. You're going to win the game. You're up by 28. Yep. You don't need to go in and do that. I love it. That is a Coach Fergut. That's a Coach Fergut staple.
He immediately was clapping, too. Coach was.
Yep. That's a Coach Fergut staple. You have respect for your opponent. He could have easily been selfish and gone in there. I love it. I love that.
78-50, our final score. As Central scores 40 points in the second half and holds Holmen to 25. 27 for Freed and 20 for Meyer on the night. Those are the game highs for Central. We'll have totals then for Holmen as well coming up. As I said, they're going to fall to, or they do fall to 4-3, 1-2 on the season. As Nami is trying to get Coach, or we're trying to get Freed up here. I think he thinks he needs to go to locker room
That's what
first.
I'm trying to tell him.
And Coach Fergut had already told us that he would come up. I don't want to have dead air on, so
We'll try and get it.
Trying to tell him to get him up here. As Wilbur finishes off with 10 points for Holmen, 2 for Seacamp. Newman hit 2 3-pointers for 6 points, 3 for Larson, 2 for Ellis, 13 for Drew Tingblad, and for Reed, 14. 4 points for Drew in the second half and only 2 for Reed in the second half.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's a big swing right there.
So, Coach Fergut talked about that in the halftime and got him to shut him down. The defensive intensity really, Central's defensive intensity really all night, not just in the second half, really all night was the difference, I thought.
And free throw wise, Holmen only shot 1 more free throw in the game. So they went 3 of 5 in the first half and 3 of 6 total for the game. I mean, they just settled for shots and settled for a lot of 3-pointers. So I'll mark all those up too. They did hit 7, did Holmen from downtown, but shot 10, 15, 18 of them throughout the ball game. And on the other side then for the Central Riverhawks, let's see. Brindley finished with 4 points. Nerdine, 5 more in the second half. He finished with 7. Nick Williams totaled out at 13, 7 in the second half. Strittmatter, 5. Those were all in the first half. As I mentioned, Bennett Freed, 27 points on the night. Wilk, 2, 20 for Meyer, and that is it for the Riverhawks. 9 3-pointers on the evening then for the Riverhawks as well, hitting from deep. Out of 22, 9 for 22 from deep tonight for Central. And at the free throw line, just 5 of 10. That's surprising that they only 50% there at the free throw line for Central. But again, led by 2 scorers at 20, Bennett Freed and Henry Meyer.
Yeah, only 10 free throws too, but
right.
Central, it seemed like they could get to the basket anytime they wanted, and they were able to finish at the basket that needed to shoot free throws because they were finishing when they got their opportunities.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get our interview or not, so I think we're just going to call her a night.
I am very frustrated right now.
Same.
We had this approved beforehand.
78-50, the final score as Central wins tonight over Holmen. For the Holmen Vikings, as we said, they host Marshfield coming up on Friday night then, and Central, they'll be taking on Logan Friday night. We'll have it for you right here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel. Do we have one final update for the girls game? Nothing so far. Okay.
How about the Badger game?
Who cares? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Minnesota's winning. We don't need an update then.
I mean, that's better than what I said. I said, who cares? So, but anyway, well, congratulations to the Riverhawks tonight for Nami George as well as Josh Buxton. I'm Joel McCall. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel. We'll be back with you on Thursday night for more basketball. It'll be the girls' action this time with Logan coming right here to Sutton Gym. Good night. Thanks for tuning in here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel.